Have you ever heard the story of La Llorona? It's one of those legends people grow up with, the kind that gets passed down like a warning. They say she's this weeping woman who wanders near rivers at night, crying out for the children she lost. Some folks swear they've actually heard her voice echo in the dark. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, but this one is real. It's creepy and kind of unforgettable. So, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, and let's get into the story. The tragic tale of Maria. The legend starts with a woman named Maria, and this wasn't just some ordinary woman. No, people said she was stunning, like the kind of beauty that could turn heads when she walked into a room. Men wanted her, women envied her, the whole deal. One day, a wealthy man rides into town. He's got money, status, charm, all the things that catch Maria's eye, and of course, she catches his. Before long, they're married, living the dream life, 2 kids, and what looks like happiness from the outside. But if you've ever seen how these stories go, you already know that doesn't last. Her husband? Yeah, he got bored. The shiny new toy feeling wore off. He wanted his bachelor freedom back, the wild nights, maybe even women of higher status than Maria. In some versions, he flat out leaves her for another woman. In others, he cheats until she can't take it anymore. Either way, Maria's world just shatters. She gave everything, her beauty, her devotion, her love, and it meant nothing. That's when her heartbreak twisted into rage, and rage, it makes people do things they can't undo. In a fit of jealousy and despair, she took her children to the river, and she drowned them, her own children, thinking that maybe this act would stab her husband's heart the way he stabbed hers. But the second they slipped beneath the water, reality hit her. Hard. She realized what she'd done, and the grief was so crushing that she threw herself into the river too. But death didn't bring peace. When her soul tried to enter heaven, she was denied. They told her she couldn't rest until she found her children and brought them with her. And since their spirits were already gone, she was trapped, wandering forever. Her beauty warped into something terrifying. Her gown, once elegant, became tattered white robes, and her voice, no longer soft, just a scream, a cry that slices through the night. That's how Maria became La Llorona, the mother who is doomed to search for the kids which she destroyed with her own hands. Now here's the thing, was Maria just one woman who snapped, or is she something way older than that? That's where things get really interesting. Ancient roots and cultural origins. See, the story of La Llorona doesn't just pop up out of nowhere in colonial Mexico. Nope. Her roots dig way deeper, way older. If you look back at ancient Aztec and Mayan traditions, you'll find goddesses who were, let's just say, eerily similar. Take Cihuacoatl, the snake woman. She was tied to childbirth and death. People said she wandered at night, wailing for her lost children. Sound familiar? And then there's Coatlicue, this fearsome goddess of creation and destruction. She could give life, but she could also snatch it away. When the Spanish rolled in and started wrecking civilizations, people reported seeing and hearing these goddesses crying for their people, like the spirits themselves were mourning what was being lost. And then there's La Malinche. If you know Mexican history, you've heard of her. She was the indigenous woman who became Hernán Cortés's translator and partner during the conquest. Some view her as a traitor, others as a survivor, but in certain tellings, she's tied directly to La Llorona. Betrayed by Cortés, abandoned for a Spanish wife, and left mourning the child she had with him. You can see how all these threads, ancient goddesses, colonial trauma, betrayal, kind of weave together into the figure we now call La Llorona. So yeah, Maria might be the popular face of the story, but La Llorona, she's been around much longer than that. She's almost like this living ghost of history itself. And that makes you wonder, if she's been haunting us for centuries, what does she actually look like when people claim they see her? The eternal search and her appearance. Most people who saw Llorona say it's a woman in white, always white, drifting along rivers or lakes. Her hair is long, black, and often dripping wet. Her eyes, empty, hollow, like they can see right through you. And her skin has this deathly pale glow, like she belongs to the other side. Sometimes she floats, other times she glides, but the feeling is always the same. You're not watching something alive. And before you even see her, you usually feel her. The air shifts, dread seeps into your bones, sometimes even a stench like rotting water hits your nose. Then comes the cry. That cry. It's the worst part. Echoing across the night. And if it sounds like she's close, she's probably far away. But if it sounds like she's far, she might already be standing behind you. Some people say she reaches for you, her icy hands ready to drag you into the same watery grave where she lost her kids. Her punishment is eternal. She'll never find her children because they've moved on, but she can't stop searching, so she's stuck, wandering endlessly, wailing forever. Now, all that sounds like legend, right? But here's the kicker. People still claim to see her, not just back then. I'm talking modern-day sightings. And those stories, they'll give you chills. Modern encounters. You'd think a story like this would just stay in the past, but nope. People in Mexico and even across the US, especially near the Rio Grande, still report seeing her. And these aren't just vague number. A lot of people encountered her with the same strange details. One researcher, Chacon, actually dug into this with over 2,500 eyewitness accounts. After filtering out stuff that could be explained away, he still had hundreds of cases left, and more than 100 of those fit the classic La Llorona pattern exactly. That's a lot of people telling the same ghost story without even knowing each other. Take this case from Mexico City. A family of 9 kept hearing crying near a toddler's room. At first, it was just shadows, distant weeping. But then it escalated. Objects moved. A baby monitor even caught footage of a blanket being tucked in by invisible hands. Creepy, right? And here's the plot twist. The haunting stopped only when the children were moved out of the house. Later, they discovered a visiting cousin was wanted for child abuse. Almost like La Llorona wasn't just haunting them, she was warning them. Another case from Jaracuaro. A mother saw her child talking to a shadowy figure that looked like La Llorona. The lady, according to the child, told them to sleep in the front room. The mom followed the advice, and 2 days later, the back bedroom collapsed into a sinkhole. If they'd stayed, they might not have survived. And then there are the sightings along the Rio Grande in Texas. Drivers claim to see her walking through creeks, sobbing. One guy described it as this icy, dead voice whispering, "Donde están mis hijos?" That was enough for him. He said he never walked near the Rio again at night. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, you've got to admit, those stories hit different. They keep La Llorona alive. Not just as a bedtime scare, but as something people genuinely think they've encountered. So what do you think? Do you believe La Llorona is just a legend? Or is she really out there wandering the rivers at night? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.